Hi there, and welcome to a very special episode of Driving with Jonny. No, not because of my shoes, but rather because of the car behind me. It is a RUF Rodeo. I know it looks like a Porsche 911. Porsche knows it looks like a 911, and so does RUF. But everything you're looking at, actually almost everything you're looking at, is manufactured by RUF. Pirelli makes the tires, Porsche makes the glass. Other than that, it's a RUF, and yes, obviously it's like kind of like a 911 Safari. It's RUF's take on it. They went with 18-inch wheels, which is pretty cool because I think like the Porsche Dakar is on 20, so you can get better off-road tires for this thing. It's got a lift, it's got soft suspension, but then it's a RUF, so it has a 3.6 liter twin turbo flat six that makes 610 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. Of course it's a manual transmission. It's got its own custom-built all-wheel drive system that can do 100% of the power to the rear wheel or shift some of the torque up to the front wheels up to 50%. And you can set it's driver selectable or it can do it automatically. Did I mention the carbon fiber tub? And then there's the interior. We haven't been spending enough time on this show talking about interiors. This one is fantastic. RUF says it was inspired by Ralph Lauren's cowboy stuff. Whatever, super cool, big stitched leather, all kinds of awesome Western fabrics, super just rodeo. It totally works. The downside, $1.25 million bucks. They're not cheap. Look, RUF only builds 30 cars a year. It's that carbon fiber tub. Did I mention all the body panels are carbon fiber? You could choose to think of it this way. The last two carbon fiber tub body panel things I drove, one was a $4 million Ferrari F80, the other was a $6 million Bugatti. So maybe this rodeo here is something of a bargain. How does it drive? It's so much fun. I'm just gonna go ahead and blow the ending. It's so much fun. Would I have one? 1,000%. I'd sell a kidney for one. It's such a cool car. Like all RUFs, they're just special, special things. Ready to drive it? Let's go.
Driving with Jonny!
I know we said we drive the car, but I really do like looking at cars. Not quite as much as driving, but I think design breakdowns are important. It'd be really easy just to kind of look at this thing and dismiss it like, oh, it's just another Safari style 911 type thing, but they've done some really cool stuff on it, and like the more you look at the details, the better they get. Start with the tow hooks. These red guys right here, they're not like they curve. They both curve. It's really just that extra little something. Every other car would just have just a U sticking out of it. This is like a curved U. It just looks really cool. And again, it's that extra little something. Everybody's doing the Singer style gas tank where, you put the fuel right in the center. RUF, they keep it here, just a little bit different. Also, I like, even though it's, again, there's no Porsche anything on this car except for, actually, I think this piece of glass is actually RUF. This piece of glass is Porsche, but they made it look like a 72. So this is where you put the oil in, which is just a really cool detail that like Porsche geeks are gonna love. Nobody else. Instead of having regular NACA ducts like they have, they went ahead and like jacked it up. Hey, it's going off road. They made it look beefier. It works with the big fat fenders. And then you get back here, as crazy as the tailpipes are, tailpipes absolutely insane, and I love stacked quad pipes on any kind of 911 looking thing, totally unique. I think my favorite part of the car is the classic Yellowbird vents in the rear bumper here. And I want to say they modernized it because like this car doesn't really scream a particular year to me. But it's just like a nice iteration, an artistic reworking of something that's become a RUF signature. And again, this time they got the tow hooks going right through that RUF bumper, which I think is so cool. Who doesn't love a ducktail? I just think this is one of those cars, the more you look at it, the more you see. Here, I'll show you one more awesome hidden detail. Right here, so it's not enough just to have this intake here for the engine. Look at this right here. Come on, get in here. Look at this. Look at this. Little carbon fiber. Remember, the whole thing's carbon fiber. Get in there, get in there, get in there. Look at that. How cool is that? So cool. And the interior is, of course, somehow... Ow! Key's hot. The interior is even better. The whole thing's carbon fiber. Look at the seat for a second. You see the orange, the frame of the seat? You see how that's orange? I think they just had the carbon fiber laying around. But then they take this super lightweight material and cover it. Look at this leather. It's like this baseball glove stitching leather with the, the Western blanket. It's just such a cool, unique look. But really the money shot, here's what it's all about, is this. Look at the carbon fiber weave here. Look at what the seat's bolted to. The seat is bolted to carbon fiber. Okay, this is not a resto mod. They're not restoring a regular 911, or they're not taking a 964 and making it look like something it isn't. This is a RUF from the ground up. They took their own chassis and they made a Safari out of it. And I just think it's just so freaking cool. Plus, look at this engine. I mean, I can't even see it, but look at that.
Speeding.
Oh, you are? Just, well, okay, not a lot of luggage space, but a lot of carbon fiber, so that's okay. That's okay. Put stuff behind the seats. Get a backpack or two up front. That's cool. But yeah, again, just if you've ever seen a 911, this is not what they look like. This is what a RUF looks like. Very crucial you remember that. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Okay. If you don't know what a RUF is, you may not understand why my face looks like this. Well, besides the normal ugliness, but wind the clocks back. It's like the late 80s, early 90s, I don't remember. Probably late 80s. And like, there was this big thing about like the first car that's gonna go 200 miles an hour. And it was like, the Porsche 959 comes out and it can go 198 miles an hour. And then the F40 supposedly can go 200, but it really like stopped at 199. And then the 959, they made the S version, can go 200. And then something called a RUF Yellowbird, CTR. The Yellowbird comes out and it goes like 213. And then the Jag XJ 220, and it was all over. But like, what? What's a RUF? Well, there's a little town in Bavaria called Pfaffenhausen, and the garage actually started in 1939, and they started building cars at some point. They became a Porsche specialist, and then, very key, in 1981, they got the sign-off from the German government, West German government, that they could be their own. They could be considered their own manufacturer. So, yes, this looks like a Porsche. 911's a great design. They took that design and they really made it their own. The chassis is made from carbon fiber. It's a RUF chassis. The front and rear subframes are aluminum. They're RUF parts. The body panels are RUF. They actually were designed by Freeman Thomas, because while this has the original wheelbase of the original 911, the car's been widened just for better performance, but they didn't want it to look weird, so Freeman Thomas, the guy really knows Porsches, shall we say, he restyled it so the proportions look right. The engine's by RUF, the gearbox is by RUF, the all-wheel drive system with its variable torque split is by RUF. Obviously, this interior is by RUF. Actually, I think it's by Alawa's wife, Estonia, kind of influenced by like Ralph Lauren's cowboy stuff, did this interior. It's got 610 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. It's a manual. Think about that for a second. Porsche, with the, what they call it, the Sport Classic or whatever, that 911, which they made rear drive and manual, that thing they could only do like, 500 some horsepower. Their transmission couldn't handle the torque. The car couldn't handle it. RUF, their transmission can. So it's a very exciting car. I'm always very, very excited. This is actually the third RUF that I've been able to drive. I drove the SCR, kind of like Spike's car radio, but I drove the SCR, which is this chassis, naturally aspirated 4-liter, water-cooled, 500 some horsepower, and I was driving around with Aloha, I believe is how you pronounce his name, RUF, and we're having a good time. And let's see, we're in third gear. Let's see if I can find a good straight for this. We're in third gear, and it's just a big straight, and I shift to fourth. I power shifted, and let's see, big straight. Hold on, it'll be worth it. Okay, big straight coming up. I get to red line. Let's see if I can do it here. I'll fake it here. Okay, it's not straightening out. So I'm with Aloha RUF. Here we go, and I go like this. And I say to him, Aloha, I've been waiting like 33 years for that moment. And I got real emotional and weepy. And he says, yeah, we call that the screaming orgasm, which was a pretty funny moment. And then he told me how you say it in German. I can't remember, but pretty funny word. Anyhow, yes, screaming orgasm notwithstanding. So yeah, the rodeo, 911 Safaris, everybody loves them. They love them so much that Porsche built the car. Well, RUF kicked it up a notch. And they really did. Like this thing, it's on 18-inch wheels. And even though it's on 18s, still has carbon fiber brakes. They're just little baby ones. But yeah, you can go off-road in it, which we're going to actually do in a little bit. But on-road, it's just a blast. It is a handful. It's funny because it feels that the track is as wide as the wheelbase is long. It feels very square. As you're going through corners, it's an odd feeling. The car moves around a lot. It leans back on acceleration. It dives hard under braking. It squirms. You're fighting it. And it's great. It's a real, I don't like the term analog, but it's just like, you're working with the car. You're fighting to get down the road, which is pretty cool. The other RUFs I've driven, the SCR, the Tribute, which is an air-cooled version of this chassis, precise. They're incredibly precise. You watch any videos on RUFs, but it's precision, precision, precision. The rodeo is not that. The rodeo is about having fun. Lots of power, but having fun all the same. Yeah, so I've got a screen here that tells me my torque split, and I can actually vary it myself. This is 100% rear drive, and I think I can go up to 50-50. Right now I have it on like an auto mode. It's doing like 6 or 7% to the front wheels. As I accelerate, I can see that crank up to as high as 42% to the front wheels, which is pretty cool. I think I actually have the suspension in soft. Go ahead and turn on the suspension, make it harder. Yeah, it feels about the same. But it's got air conditioning, no screen, except for this little torque split screen here. So it feels like an old 911. Love the gauges. So cool. And there are little digital displays built into the analog gauges. And Aloha told me, he said, yeah, we keep it as old school. I don't know if he said old school, but as old as possible until we need modern tech. And that's really what they've done here. And, it's said that, like Porsche, they have to manufacture cars for the mainstream. Whereas RUF, they make 30 cars a year. Like I think Pagani makes 40. So they're really making cars for enthusiasts. Now, the drawback with only building 30 cars a year, and they're handmade and they're made out of carbon fiber, they ain't cheap. And I believe this sucker costs $1.25 million. But carbon tub, so totally worth it. What a treat to be able to drive this thing. The noises this car makes they're just hysterical. Just all kinds of growling, all kinds of whooshing and blowing off and air and anger, and it's just great. Love how the car rocks up, get on the brakes, dives, and it's cool. You can see the car dive. You can experience it. It's really just a cool thing. Aside from price, is there anything wrong with it? Yeah, one thing. I would like a big big drift car kind of handbrake just for the rear wheels, like an aerial Nomad has. Just boom, you can just help you get around corners in the dirt. Probably do it with this handbrake, but it'd just be cooler if it was right here. Other than that, I really like this thing. I like how goofy it looks on the outside. Goofy in a fun way, not in a bad way. I love this interior. Like, what a novelty. What a conversation piece. Just got done with Car Week. Man, you're going to want to see this thing sitting on a lawn in a couple generations where people go, wow, look at that. Look how crazy they were back in the 20s. You know what I like a lot better than not having a screen? I like not having anything on the steering wheel. That is such a rare thing these days. Even Porsche's putting all kinds of junk on the steering wheel. Not RUF. That's just for holding on to and steering. You're not going to accidentally be doing hard cornering in here. How may I help you? Because you clicked some stupid button. Oh, you hear that? Oh, haha. Screaming orgasm indeed. Brakes are really great. It is hysterical how much this thing moves around. It's just the body is constantly in motion, and it's got inboard push rod dampers, save unsprung weight and all that. But it's just a little squirrely guy. But that makes it fun. It's dancing. It's playful. You go back and you watch the old Fascination video. If you haven't done that, turn this off. Go put in RUF Fascination Nürburgring. Watch that video of that guy absolutely dancing that car. And yeah, it's moving all over and drifting and everything. And not that I'm drifting this, but loves to dance. Loves to dance. It'd be hard to drift this one in this mode because, as you give it more throttle, you can see more and more of the power being sent up to the front axle. Just a really fun car. Oh, it's just such a weird corner. Really, it's very rear engine. Again, with front traction, but you go back, you think about the 930, right? And that was that crazy car, and that that probably weighed 2,800 pounds, which because of all the carbon fiber is what this weighs. But the 930, the Widowmaker, I think at max was 280 horsepower. This is 610. And, again, fantastic. Just having a blast. It's definitely one of those, I could do this all day cars. All right, here we go. Plus, because it's like a safari. Now, here we go with the screaming orgasm. Whoa! Yes! Yes! Wow. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yep. All right. That's Jonny approved right there. But again, too, because it's like a safari-looking Type 911. Yeah, you run off the road a little bit. Who cares? You're on off-road tires, Not that I ran off the road. We're taking the RUF Rodeo off-road. RUF in the rough. And so it's so funny. So Porsche, I never got to drive the Dakar. Lamborghini gave me a Storado and they said, don't take it off-road. RUF gives me the Rodeo and says, please take it off-road. So just shows you what kind of company they are. And yeah, we're off-roading, man, in a RUF Rodeo. Are we doing hardcore off-roading? No. Are we going too slow? Well, I got this slow-ass camera car in front of me, but no problem. Again, we've got good, I think they're Pirelli Scorpion, but like off-road Scorpions, 9.5 inches of ground clearance. We've got an all-wheel drive system that can detect slip and, sort it out. So I could get up to 50% of the power to the front wheels if need be. Am I going rock crawling? No. But, we're doing stuff that you can't do in a regular RUF or a regular sports car. So I think it's pretty fun. I think it's pretty cool. And you know what? It's good to get cars dirty, Give those detailing companies something to do. Well, here's an actual obstacle. Look at this. Woo! Aye! Yeah, this thing's all right, it's just, there we go. No problem. Yeah, off-roading in a manual, that's fine. People think you need an automatic. You don't. People think you need a Jeep. You don't. Need an SUV. You can just get one car. Get one RUF Rodeo. And you got your sports car and your SUV, skiing mobile, in my financial situation, house, it's all covered. Yeah, so, it's funny, I was looking at, Zillow or Redfin or whatever, my house is worth like 1.3 million, so I could sell my house. I wouldn't live in this because I'd have like $50,000 in profit that I could rent something with. LA, be tough to rent something for 50 grand a year. But anyhow, the point is, this car can do it all. So yeah, it's true, this trail is mostly easy, but there is spots like right here where, you need the ground clearance. I got 9.5 inches, baby. There's a Ron Jeremy joke in there somewhere. So yeah, RUF in the rough. So I've done this many, many times. I've taken a car off-road that everyone tells me, nobody takes these off-road. Hello, I'm nobody. But the point is you can. And the other point is RUF actually wanted me to. That is worth noting. They're confident in their own vehicle. Whether you want to go off-road, whether you want to go play in the canyons, whether you just want to make little kids happy at a Cars and Coffee, RUF Rodeo is awesome. If you have $1.25 million, I demand you put a deposit down and let them build you one. You can pick the paint, you can pick the interior, but yeah, just what a cool car. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Driving with Jonny. If you liked it, hit like. If you have a comment, make a comment. If you really liked it and you want your friends to know about it, share it. Also, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to catch you on the next episode.